Hello everyone, and welcome to my Solving Geometry World Problems video. I will be completing number 7 on page 492 in the McDougall-Little geometry book. Now, number 7 states that the base of an isosceles triangle is 70 centimeters long. The altitude to the base is 75 centimeters long. Find the measure of a base angle to the nearest degree. Let's break this down. So let's say a little girl you're babysitting for likes her peanut butter and jelly sandwiches cut to a precise angle. But what is that angle? Well, let's just first break down the terms that we see in this word problem. So first we see an isosceles triangle. An isosceles triangle is a triangle that has two sides that are the same and then one that is not. So for example, on this triangle, we see one and two sides are the same, and one side that is not. We also see the word altitude. Altitude is not just the height from sea level, it is also the line you see going down a triangle, directly splitting it in half. Okay, so now that we have our terms down, let's start labeling. The problem states that the base is 70 centimeters long. And the problem also states that the altitude is 75, so let's label that as well. Since it's split in half at the altitude, we can assume it's a right triangle. So here, you can see the right triangle come more clearly. Have you ever had that experience when you're cooking and you need to split the recipe in half? If the recipe stated that you needed 4 cups of flour, then you would have to split it evenly into 2 cups of flour, right? We do the same thing with this triangle. We are going to split this triangle in half. So we come up with half of the sandwich. And here we see that right triangle again. Earlier, we had said that the base of the isosceles triangle is 7 centimeters. Now that we have split the triangle in half, we also have to cut the base in half. The new leg number would be 70 divided by 2, which is 35 centimeters. Now, as you can see, we had a full triangle, and it's 70 centimeters long. So when you cut that in half, you're left with 2 equal sides. So one would be 35, and the other would be 35 as well. But the only thing that doesn't change would be the altitude. So see, when you have this triangle and it's 70, the 75 is right here. So whichever way you go, even when you split it in half, it stays the same. So now that we see that it's equal, we can label this one as 75 centimeters. But wait, what about that precise angle? That'll be right here. And we can label that any variable, but I'm just going to name it A. I'd like to draw a box around the angle just so I can verify. It's totally optional. Do what works for you. Now, referring back to the word problem, we have to find this angle. And to find this, we have to use either sine, cosine, or tangent, or, as I like to say, SOHCAHTOA. Now for when you're doing this kind of stuff, you have to find one that has the 2 sides that you need. So let's see. For sine, we have opposite and hypotenuse. So the opposite of angle A would be 75. Looking good so far because we do have a number there. But hypotenuse, we have no number. So we cannot use sine. What about cosine? We have adjacent. We do have adjacent. And, oh, but wait, we don't have the hypotenuse. so we can't use it. Oh, tangent's the only one we have left, so this one has to be right. We have opposite. Good, we have an opposite. And we have adjacent, which we also have. Okay, tangent's the one to use. So to solve, we write tan, which is short for tangent, and in parentheses, the angle, which is just A. We'd set that equal to the opposite over the adjacent. So that would be 75 over 35. But how are we supposed to solve for this? You don't know A. This is when the inverse property comes in. So you would do tangent to the -1, and then parentheses 75 over 35. And then set that equal to angle A. Okay, so now that you have this done, you can continue on. When you use the inverse property, you literally switch your numbers with your unknown angle. So now you can just simply plug this into your calculator as a tan -1. To write tan to the -1 into your calculator, you would type second, and then your tangent button to get the inverse, and then put in the parentheses 75 divided by 35, which you have right here. Then you close your parentheses and hit enter. And that should give you 64.98. And then set that equal to A still. Okay, but in the word problem, it says to round to the nearest degree, right? So if you round 8 and 9, you will get 65 equals A. And there's your answer. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it helped you out. See you next time.